To a lot of people, cryptocurrencies are kind of just like stocks, and they invest in them just to get rich like they would with stocks. But to many people, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, things like that, they're part of a political, economic, I guess, societal movement that's going to change the entire world for the better. And it's actually going to free all of us. And many of the people who buy into this stuff aren't just like, people who are day trading all day. It's literally some of the most powerful tech billionaires and millionaires, including Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk. So today what I wanted to do is just talk about this pretty insane culture around crypto, not as a way to make money, but as a way to completely revolutionize the way, I guess, we live our lives. So we're going to look at just the general culture you find online, how delusional a lot of these people are. Then we're going to talk about, their utopia in El Salvador, where Bitcoin has been legalized as legal tender. And then we're just going to talk about, I guess, the effects on people's relationships, because there was a good article I read about how the crypto bro phenomenon is affecting romantic relationships. So we're going to get into all of that in the video. Now, before we get any further, I'm going to plug my social media and Patreon for about a minute. If you're not interested, skip. There should be timestamps in the description. Before we get any further, a lot of my work on this channel is demonetized because when you're covering more serious, sometimes edgier topics, YouTube doesn't like this. So if you've ever enjoyed my work, please consider becoming a patron. And you don't have to pledge a crazy amount. I want to build up my Patreon based on as many people as possible pledging little amounts, like $1 or $2. So if you feel like I have ever brought anything that's worthwhile into your life and my content, please really consider becoming a patron to help me continue to do this, regardless of if YouTube monetize or not most of my videos in a given month. Also, if you want to join our communities, come check out our Discord and my subreddit. Those links in the description. And if you want to follow me personally, please check out the Kavernacle at Twitter, at Instagram, and also my personal Reddit, where you can keep up to date with all my content and what I'm doing. We're still chugging along to 45k. I want to get 2 more chocolate oranges before the end of the year. For every 5k, we get a new chocolate orange. I also live stream on a Tuesday and on a Thursday, and those are archived on the Kavernacle Extra. So cryptocurrency has been around for over a decade at this point, but it's really exploded in, I'd say, the last 2 years, in that it's gone really mainstream. Now, my problems with crypto, I have multiple problems with crypto. You have the whole use of electricity to mine things like Bitcoin anyway, so the environmental impact I don't like. But generally, by its nature and by its more deregulated nature, it is totally ripe for scams. Now, you see so many people, especially in the last couple months, releasing new coins, and then they could be prominent YouTubers. I've seen lots of YouTubers do this. Then telling their followers to go buy this coin, then selling all their coins, and then the coin basically just completely declining in value. Now, these celebrities are often paid in the coin, so they have a financial incentive to scam their audiences. But this has happened so much. But these guys don't really get in trouble for this because this stuff has not been regulated properly yet. So that's one problem. But even with the more mainstream cryptocurrencies, the ones that seem to have a bit more scrutiny on them, I still think things like Bitcoin aren't going to solve all the world's problems. And why I understand more libertarian peoples like it, because it's not controlled by the financial institutions of the United States or places around the globe. But then they can't really see that the people they're worshipping to bring in this age of crypto are often using crypto to enrich themselves, and they can do so in a much more unregulated fashion. And people like Elon Musk can manipulate the market in ways that would generally be considered illegal if you were doing it on the stock market. But when it comes to crypto, there aren't such regulations yet. So this is why crypto bros have often turned on Elon Musk for manipulating the market, either increasing or, more importantly, decreasing the value of these cryptocurrencies, so a lot of people lose a lot of money. Now, I was reading about the UK specifically, about how much regulation there is. So just from the page on Comply Advantage, cryptocurrency regulations in the UK. So cryptocurrency is not legal tender. Cryptocurrency exchanges, legal registration requirements with the FCA. The UK's approach to cryptocurrency regulation has been measured but has matured in the post-Brexit financial landscape. Although the UK confirmed in 2020 that crypto assets are property, it has no specific cryptocurrency laws, and cryptocurrencies are not considered legal tender. According to the Bank of England, since cryptocurrencies lack classical definition characteristics, they are not considered money and do not pose a systemic risk to the stability of the banking ecosystem. However, because the legal consequences, regulations, and status of crypto assets and currencies can change depending on their nature, type, and usage, the FCA and the Bank of England have issued a range of warnings and guidance about their use. Those warnings concern the absence of regulatory and monetary protection, the status of cryptocurrencies as stores of value, and on the dangers of speculative trading and volatility. So generally just playing to what I'm saying, like these exchanges have laws on them and they're regulated, but even these guys warn is because there's a lack of regulation, this whole market is very, very volatile, and you guys will know that anyway. Now I want to shift this a bit and now talk about the online culture around this stuff with crypto pros who love Elon Musk, who think Bitcoin is going to change the world. Be prepared for some delusion and be prepared for some cringe. So you have accounts like this: Elon finds crypto promoter, pre-sale tokens, project launch, NFT promotion. Then it obviously has the Bitcoin stuff. So that has like 60k followers. And there's so many influencers on YouTube and Twitter who just shill all these coins. So another one, Crypto Pharaoh. Thanks to Elon Musk and everyone who's promoting the Doges. Make the Doges great again. Bitcoin Magazine, which we'll get back to a bit later. I would say do nothing. Elon Musk on Bitcoin and crypto regulation. On the challenge that decentralization of Bitcoin presents to state powers, Musk said, I suppose cryptocurrency is fundamentally aimed at reducing the power of a centralized government. And just a little side note, because this popped in my head as I was reading this, I do find it funny that he's their hero despite Tesla and his company getting loads of subsidies from the federal government. If we get one piece of good news, I think we're going to make a run at Bitcoin in October. Any of these would do it. I mean, it says Elon tweet. So again, it's great that a currency that people want to make legal tender is linked to the tweets of one of the world's richest men. If you go onto the Elon Musk subreddit, a new space race has begun. Amid crypto price mayhem, Elon Musk doubles down on Dogecoin, plan to beat Bitcoin to the actual moon. Someone please make a TV series on this guy already. I agree, that would be so awesome to watch. To the moon. Another post, Bitcoin tumbles after Musk implies Tesla may sell cryptocurrency. So this is when they all hated him. But they still defend their lord, and someone saying, the amount of hate Elon is getting is insane on Twitter. I mean, when the value of Bitcoin soared when Elon tweeted something about it, people were appreciating it. But when he decided to sell Bitcoin and not accept Bitcoin for Tesla, people were just raged and showing hate for him. So this guy is the most cringe. So it's Jack Dorsey, who's the co-founder and CEO of Twitter. And he just has hashtag Bitcoin in his bio. Now, I want to read you the dumbest tweet I saw him say, and this was in August. Bitcoin will unite a deeply divided country and eventually world. I really don't understand how these people think this is going to do this, but let's just look at his profile. Let's see the type of rubbish he always tweets in regards to his cryptocurrency. So, retweeting an article, the Ukrainian parliament has passed a law to legalize Bitcoin. I'm so glad Ukraine has legalized it. Nothing volatile about their economy already. He retweets this saying 100, and the tweet thread says from Mike Brock, say what you want about Elon Musk, but between Tesla and SpaceX, it's hard for me to think of another person alive today that is bending the trajectory of humanity towards a more positive future at the scale he is. Our political leaders certainly aren't these days. And before you point out some examples of him saying something inappropriate, out of touch, the fact he's a billionaire, okay, that's pretty legit criticism, or whatever hobby horse issue you have that makes him a villain in your eyes, step back from your cynicism for just one moment and think about it. The two greatest threats to the continuation of our species long term: unsustainable energy production with severe environmental externalities and human expansion into space. He's taken it on. He's bent the trajectory. Take some inspiration from that for 1 second. He's a very flawed human being. So am I. So are you. You certainly have a right to your cynicism, but I, for one, am inspired by what he's pulled off. Yeah, Elon Musk is totally the same as me. A billionaire who personally busts unions in his Tesla factory. A guy who says loads of awful stuff on Twitter. A guy obviously existing in this system who has insane power. And obviously, these guys are even more stupid for shilling Bitcoin, but at the same time thinking Tesla cars are going to save the planet. These cars that no one can afford, which are designed terribly, which don't have basic safety features, which you've seen all those videos lately of them self-driving and nearly causing accidents. Yeah, this guy is going to save the planet. And based on him celebrating the coup in Bolivia in 2019, I'm totally reassured that if he makes it to Mars, he will be some great leader. There's no scenarios in history that might show what happens when a bunch of powerful people colonize a place which traditionally hasn't been explored, like, you know, the New World or India, and how they set themselves up when there's no accountability. So retweeting stuff that is saying how Bitcoin will overthrow the communists in Cuba. So again, deeply embarrassing, but these guys are some of the most powerful people in the world, Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk. Now let's get into some like more, I guess, down the ladder Bitcoin bros. So here's one. This guy's tweets make me absolutely laugh. Dennis Porter, corrupt money corrupts absolutely. Hashtag single issue voter. You can be a single issue voter because Bitcoin fixes economy, crime, tribalism, spending, home prices, immigration, deficit, foreign policy, wages, energy, environment, Fed, food, farmer, culture, education, race wars, healthcare. Bitcoin fixes everything. This is the most delusional stuff ever because I wouldn't say Bitcoin can fix any of that, but he doesn't even lay out the argument. He just lists like every problem in society and saying, well, Bitcoin can fix it. But he's not alone though. Someone else tweets, I like the idea of a Bitcoin single issue voter as this encompasses many ideals. Free speech, privacy, honesty, cryptography, self-sovereignty, hope for the future, sound money. There's nothing more sound than a currency that fluctuates in value based on one guy's tweets. Hate politics for the first time. I see the potential for true change brought about by Bitcoin. Again, lots of delusion. These guys are also pretty nationalistic about America and they're well happy about Chinese regulations on cryptocurrency so the US can take over. Some more tweets from Dennis. The world doesn't need to collapse for Bitcoin to be successful. In fact, it's likely Bitcoin will serve as a release valve for the global economy. We should be extremely thankful and hopeful for its existence and survival. Bitcoin is hope. I'm not advising you to buy Bitcoin. I'm telling you there is a time coming where you'll need Bitcoin if you want to buy bread, feed your family, pay for rent, save for retirement, and fuel your car. I really hope I don't live to see that. And he says again, you have three options in life. You ignore Bitcoin and buy it when forced to. You study Bitcoin and buy it once you feel comfortable. You buy Bitcoin now and spend the next decade getting wealthier than everyone. All three you end with buying Bitcoin, might as well start today. So other tweets from people, in summary, Bitcoin fixes people. Now, something that kind of like gets all this stuff into one place is Bitcoin Magazine. So you see it here, 1.4 million followers. So it actually has a whole articles about this stuff where it just like looks at crypto and Bitcoin through like various different lenses. And this one made me laugh a bit. Bitcoin and Religion with Jimmy Song. On this podcast, author Jimmy Song discusses his book, Thank God for Bitcoin, and parallels between Bitcoin and Bible scripture. But Bitcoin Magazine is also a big shill for El Salvador making Bitcoin legal. Without really delving into the politics or how this negatively affects places, you know, these guys will just shill and simp for Bitcoin wherever. So here you have, you know, them promoting Bitcoin on the front page news in El Salvador. In El Salvador, more people have Bitcoin wallets than bank accounts. Genuine first-hand reporting, illuminating details directly from journalists on the ground in El Salvador, achieved legal tender status as a first for global adoption. Bitcoin holders in El Salvador are up 40% in just 21 days. Love heart. Bitcoin is freedom. El Salvadorans are now buying more Bitcoin than they were withdrawing. So why I find this kind of gross, because I assume Bitcoin Magazine is written by Americans. Most of the Bitcoin shills are American on social media. And of course, you know, I probably don't need to tell you the awful history of the United States in America in ravaging this country and fueling the Civil War, which went on for, you know, decades, and how, you know, ravaged the economy, and actually it achieved some semblance of stability with actually introducing the US dollar as currency. But again, it's, you know, a poor country, volatile country. The last thing you need is to tie people's incomes to the tweets of Elon Musk. But let's break it down a bit further. Let's go into critics, both anti-Bitcoin critics and pro-cryptocurrency critics, of why this is extremely dangerous. So economist Stephen Hank explains how Bitcoin adoption conjures a nightmare for El Salvador's economy. El Salvador's laws legalizing Bitcoin became effective in September. Bitcoin's biggest supporters have hailed the nation's embrace of the #1 cryptocurrency, asserting the move will usher in a new era of economic and financial freedom for people in El Salvador. But in an October 11th tweet, Stephen Hank, professor of the applied economics at Johns Hopkins University and ex-economic advisor to Ronald Reagan, which is very ironic considering we're talking about El Salvador, postulated that Salvadorans are encountering technological challenges and significant financial losses on a daily basis. Truth be told, the state-run Chivo wallet unveiled at the outset of the program has been bug-riddled, frustrating even committed users of the tech. The Economist further indicated that El Salvador's creditworthiness has also been tarnished, with the nation's bonds seesawing for more than a month now. So that's a big capitalist, Reagan supporter. Let's go into the Financial Times reporting to give you a bit of a broader overviews. El Salvador's dangerous gamble on Bitcoin. A network of cash dispensers will allow users to convert Bitcoin into dollars free of commission. Backed by a $150 million government fund, Salvadorans will receive a free $30 in a digital wallet called Chivo. The president of El Salvador thinks this will promote foreign investment and make it cheaper for expatriate Salvadorans to send home billions of dollars to remittances. The haste of the project is remarkable. Salvadorans are less happy. Opinion polls show a clear majority against the idea. This may reflect the fear of the unknown. Fewer than 5% understand Bitcoin according to the survey, which is really, really important if you're going to make it legal tender. But citizens also worry about taking a payment in a currency whose value has varied between 10,000 and 63,000 over the past year. So imagine having to buy like groceries and basic necessities with a currency that is so volatile. Like, people might say, well, at the moment Bitcoin is on the up, but it like changes every single day. How does that make for a stable economy? Yes, I know conventional currency does fluctuate in value every day as well, but it doesn't have major swings based on the tweets of Elon Musk. Even the Financial Times saying, El Salvador's move seems odd because the country suffers none of the currency turbulence cited by crypto fans as the reason for jettisoning fiat money. Quite the opposite, the Central American nation has enjoyed low inflation and economic stability since adopting the US dollar 20 years ago. It's hard to see the experiment ending well. El Salvador's hasty adoption of Bitcoin is fraught with risk, and ordinary citizens are likely to pay a heavy price for their president's gamble. This is not to oppose innovation. Central bank digital currencies, for example, hold much promise if carefully implemented, but Bitcoin is not cool as government-backed legal tender. People who like crypto and believe in this, rubbish about its, I guess, political ramifications, you might be saying, well, you've read an old advisor to Ronald Reagan and you've read the Financial Times. Now, you guys might also dismiss this guy because he's involved with Ethereum, but he's a guy who believes in crypto who is saying this is a bad idea. So Vitalik Buterin says, shame on Bitcoin maximalists who support El Salvador's president in forcing businesses to accept the cryptocurrency. 27-year-old crypto billionaire criticized enthusiastic proponents of Bitcoin who backed the Salvadorian leader in comments suggesting he doesn't believe Bukele's enthusiasm for enforcement should be applauded. Shame on everyone. Okay, fine, I'll call out the main people responsible. Shame on Bitcoin maximalists who are uncritically praising him. Making it mandatory for businesses to accept the specific cryptocurrency is contrary to the ideals of freedom that are supposed to be so important to the crypto space. Additionally, this tactic of pushing Bitcoin to millions of people in El Salvador at the same time with almost no attempt at prior education is reckless and risks a large number of innocent people getting hacked or scammed. Financial markets and cryptocurrency are very hard to understand for your average person. Like, for me personally, I'm okay at economics in general. I've done like economics modules at university and things like that. But still, when it comes to financial markets, the terminology, how things affect certain things, even me who considers myself someone who knows about this stuff broadly, I really don't understand a lot of it, right? And you're trying to introduce Bitcoin in a country where most of the population barely have access to the internet. In a poor country, you want to do that. Doing this in a rich country like the US or Britain, in my mind, would also be a complete disaster. It's going to end very, very badly in this country. They're going to suffer while American Bitcoin bros just promote it as the best thing ever and what they want to happen in American society, in Western society, and everything like that. So again, I feel like Bitcoin is just ridiculous to make legal tender at this point. There's no regulation. And like I said at the start, I get all the problems with how in bed the financial markets are with like the US government, the British government, various governments around the world. But I don't think the answer is this completely deregulated currency, which is currently being manipulated by libertarian billionaires and millionaires who face no consequences for doing this stuff. And like I said before, there have been so many scams with this brand new crypto market. Now, crypto bros are pretty unbearable, but let's get into this fun article by Vice. So it's called "The Long-Suffering Partners of Crypto Bros Hate Their Lives Now" by Ruchira Sharma, and I like this article. When Jacqueline's boyfriend first began trading, he spent $50 at a time, or at most $100 on stocks on Robinhood. Within weeks, these small investments became $1,500 at a time. It wasn't long before he learned about crypto and moved all his gains into it. In total, he threw $40,000 at various online coins in May 2020. This isn't the thrilling real-life rags to riches story behind an upcoming film. Jacqueline, 24, is one of many women who has seen the transformation of her boyfriend, a fairly frugal guy, she says, who wouldn't splurge on going out or clothes, into a completely different person, obsessed by cryptocurrency, Reddit crypto forums, and splurging huge amounts of cash on coins. Crypto became all he would talk or think about, Jacqueline says. The pair had originally met via Tinder during college in 2018 and went on their first date on Halloween. We spent pretty much every day and night together for the spring 2019 semester. After a positive stint of them living together, they both moved to their parents' house and became long distance. She started sensing more significant changes in him than just obsessing over crypto. He downloaded multiple apps for investing and gambling and was borrowing from people to keep buying cryptocurrency. It wasn't long before crypto became destructive to the relationship, and she and his family became increasingly worried. I did not trust him financially or emotionally. After a year of holding on to the relationship through calls and sporadic in-person meets, she ended things. It wasn't just down to crypto, but the person it made him become. Adlinda, 25, from Bali, says her boyfriend talks about crypto as if it's a new religion. I started to notice he had a weird obsession with cryptocurrency, but maybe it's because we started living together, so I started to pick up more detail about his interests. Adlinda began noticing how he'd watched countless YouTube videos on cryptocurrency on top of UFC reviews, surfing reports, and Joe Rogan and Jake Paul ones he usually did. He often did this on her account, so her algorithm swerved from knitting videos to investing tips. One particularly bad day, my partner kept complaining about how Elon Musk's speech on SNL affected crypto price and made him lose 20k on one night. Again, we should totally make cryptocurrency legal tender everywhere, where Elon Musk's appearance on SNL affects people's bottom line. He also tried to convince her to invest her own savings into crypto, which she did, but then sold it and used the profits to buy herself drinks. He was not happy with it, and we had a few arguments. To be honest, I felt secretly pleased when the prices crashed, and everyone I know who has been hoarding cryptos for the past weeks freaked out. Maybe I'm just petty. I personally feel the exact same way. I feel immense satisfaction when I see these massive crashes on Twitter. So 2 more examples. Grace, 20, has watched her boyfriend trade crypto for 6 years and has no idea how he first got into it or how much he invests. He wakes up and the first thing he thinks about is the prices, and he'll be up at 4 a.m. trading. The Virginia-based licensed cosmetologist says the issue is he's totally unable to detach from the market, which takes him both on a rollercoaster of emotions. Liz Bandhari, 30, from Greater Manchester, has come round to the changes in her relationship, mainly her partner being on his laptop 24/7, and found that they lessened as he became more confident about crypto. But generally that sounds like a bit of a nightmare. We all know people who are overly obsessed with stuff. I can't imagine being in a relationship with someone who's constantly on their laptop or on their phone, either investing in Bitcoin or watching Joe Rogan or watching Bitcoin, cryptocurrency influencers and talk about all this stuff and what coin is going to do well. So in general, my feelings on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is that, you know, if you're someone, and I know some people who follow me have investments in crypto, if you're playing this like a stock, I don't think, you know, it's the worst thing ever. Of course, it's like a very volatile currency, but it's, you know, your own money. You can play stocks, you can play crypto, whatever, that's fine. But my main problems with this stuff is, of course, the lack of regulation opens all this up to massive scams. The culture around it is pretty cringe as well. But of course, I'm criticizing crypto as this like political movement. And it's ridiculous to see a country like El Salvador adopt Bitcoin as legal tender and all these people celebrate it. It's just bizarre. To make this work, you would need a country of people who are highly educated on like markets and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Something that even educated countries, you know, with good standards of education have and good standards of living have. And you're going to put it into El Salvador. Again, it seems like only a few crypto bros are saying about what a disaster this will be. And like I said, it's funny, but at the same time, I just feel bad for people in El Salvador who, of course, experienced decades of turmoil and instability. And now you're a guinea pig for Bitcoin being legal tender. So I end on the point that to a lot of people, crypto is, I guess, the transfer of power out of the hands of the elite into the everyday person. But to me, what crypto essentially is a scam by a different type of billionaire and millionaire to transfer the wealth from your average person into their pockets, just like, I guess, general stocks and other things like that. The only difference is crypto isn't really in bed with the establishment yet. It could still happen. It may not happen. You know, we've seen what has happened with China lately. Could America do a similar thing? Who knows? But Elon Musk manipulating the market while he has Bitcoin, or other people like manipulating the market or scamming people and stuff like that, it doesn't seem like a very sustainable thing. It doesn't seem like a system that is going to bring about equality. Definitely doesn't seem like something that is going to solve all the world's problems, like some of these deranged crypto bros actually think. So in general, I just think this culture is absolutely delusional and ridiculous. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you want to follow me on social media at the Kavernacle on Twitter and Instagram, if you want to come and join our communities, Discord and our subreddit in the description. If you want to support my work, please check out my Patreon. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching.